do that again. Um, Everybody who was waiting is gone now. But hello and welcome to the Dirty Pat Walsh channel here on YouTube with me, your host, Dirty Pat Walsh. Uh, yeah, that was really confusing. I don't know what happened there. I hit the go live button and the stream started, and then it started echoing back at me like it was like a weird and then the echo started echoing back, and it just kept repeating. It was very strange. Anyway, I noticed somebody just entered the room, so hello. Welcome back to the Dirty Pat Walsh channel here on YouTube. So the 19th of November, just 2 days ago, was the 7th anniversary of my channel here. I just wanted to kind of talk about the last year and go over some good stuff. And it's all good stuff, you know. Um, it's been a big year. You know, I'm gonna just, you know, and if anybody joins and has any questions, just ask me and I'll answer your questions. Um, I started this channel 7 years ago to hey, I have a tea drinker. Great to see you. Great to see you, bud. Um, yeah, I started this channel 7 years ago. It was a really low point in my life. I'd kind of I was at that point where I'd kind of lost everything, and my health started failing really badly. Um, you know, I was divorced, estranged from my children. Uh, you know, I was working. When I started this channel, I think I was working at a hotel or something like that. But I don't know. I might have started it after I quit. Um, but I started this channel to be like a rehearsal log for me, so I could remember songs I wrote or that I performed. The What instigated me to start this channel was I got asked to do a tribute show to the late great Bernie Martin, who's a local folk hero, and I happened to play a bunch of his songs, or have played a bunch of his songs anyway. Um, and I'd had a couple years off of music just from owning a business, and I owned a little bakery and restaurant for a while, you know, and trying to co-parent while in the midst of a divorce and all kinds of stuff, you know. It was a bad time. So I started this YouTube channel to when I got back into music, because I was kind of thrown back into, like, I had a gig. It's like, wow, this is the first gig I've had in years. Um, you know, I hadn't played with the Silverhearts in a couple years at this point, and um, I was taking a break at least from them. Anyhow, so yeah, I started doing that and just recording Bernie Martin songs. And you know, if you go back to my oldest videos, they're still there. I've only deleted like a couple videos off this channel. Um, and then you know, it was just such a difficult time in life. You know, like I was very poor. My health was failing really badly. Uh, you know, I have chronic IBD that's not getting any better. It gets worse every year. You know, I have back injuries, and um, you know, anyway, I couldn't keep a job, and they deemed me disabled. Now, to get a disability, to get on the disability program here in Canada, like, as if you can't work anymore, you know, you still got to live, right? Luckily, in Canada, we have somewhat of a safety net. Um, you know, So I applied to get on disability, and it's a 2 year process to like before they even look at your application. It's 2 years, and then they reject it. It's protocol that they reject it the first time, so you have to appeal it and go, and it's just such a ball of red tape, and you're very lucky if you get on it. Um, Now, so during that 2 year waiting period, I was on welfare, and welfare here when I moved to Peterborough in 1991, welfare was $700 a month, which was kind of enough to live. You could rent apartments weren't any more than $300 anywhere. You could live, and on top of gigging and busking and hey, Derby, blessings to you, brother. Blessings to you. Um, it was easy to get by, and I was. What am I talking about? Okay, yeah, welfare back in 1991 it was $700 a month. When I went on welfare again in 2017, it was $700 a month. And apartments are expensive, and just by the grace of God, a friend of mine rented me. It was a horrible apartment. It was really awful. It was infested with mice, and but I could afford it, and then I had a pretty horrible roommate there for a while, but my friend Kelsey moved in, and if you've been following the channel for a while, you probably know Kelsey, um, and Kelsey and I became great friends, and we're still great friends, and we ended up living together for the next. Oh, my niece is messaging me saying that she sees that I'm live but can't join. Oh, that's too bad. My niece is really cool. She's 16, 17. I'm not sure, 16 or 17. Um, anyhow, so I wanted to document, like, I knew better times were coming in life. I knew that things were going to get better. But I wanted to document that time because it was a real struggle, man, Um, you're retired at 63 and only getting from the government less than $1,000 a month. So yeah, totally, Jack. Totally, man. Absolutely. It's hard. It's a struggle. Um, and anyway, so the last 3 years I was living down on Bethune Street. A lot of my videos of the last year, few years are from down there, and that was a really nice place to live. And living with Kelsey was great, but it had to come to an end. They were half my age and had romantic plans for the future, and so you know once again, by the grace of God, my friend Mary rents me out her basement. To get, for me to rent a single, like an apartment that would be suitable for me, would cost like $2,000 a month now in Peterborough. It used to be you never paid more than $300 for anything. Now it's $2,000 a month for the bare minimum. It's crazy. So I'm very blessed right now to be where I'm at. My good friend Bone Daddy, he always said better days ahead, and he was right. And I know Jesus takes care of me. Uh, so it's wonderful. But yeah, so this past year has been a really cool year. It's First, I need a drink. One thing that I'm going through right now is I used to have a really bad Coca-Cola problem. I used to drink like 6 cans of soda pop a day, and I cut that out. And what I'm doing is I'm using like they're making all kinds of these sugar-free seltzer waters now. And anyway, Mary bought this one. It's a sugar-free sparkling water drink that is cola, and it's when I first tried it, it was like drinking clove soda. But let's see how it is today. I haven't had it in a couple days. Yeah, it's clove soda. It's crazy. Um, yeah. Anyhow, it's been a cool year. I moved into my new basement. Got my little studio set up here. It's nice. It works for me. I have lots of free time during the day. I have Mary teaches school during the day, so I can make noise in the house all day long if I want, every day. And it's cool. And I'm the only thing that's different about living here is my whole adult life I've lived downtown, and either in Oakville or in Peterborough. And you know so I'm not downtown anymore. I'm pretty far away from downtown, so it's weird not being around my people. You know what I mean? It's a drag not being able to walk down to my credit union or my pharmacy. But whatever. I'm getting by. I've been getting by for 5 months now, and it's just fine. But yeah, so a lot of cool stuff. I was kind of going over the content of what I've done the last year. Um, did a lot of gospel songs. Uh, Pretty happy about that. Really getting into exploring the old, getting into the old 1920s, 1930s gospel blues music. Music of that era. That's where my interest lies. That's the kind of music I heavily influences me as a performer. Um, yeah. So and speaking of that, uh, playing shows is one thing that I've started doing again, which is really cool. Um, I play at church. I play at in the worship team at church, and that's a great gig. I love that gig. It's not like playing in a bar. It's a completely different experience. It's really wonderful. Uh, but my pastor, he was talking to me the other day. He really likes that I play downtown in the bars, uh, because I play a lot of gospel songs, and I'm always willing to talk to people about Jesus. And I have a pocket full of gospel tracks wherever I go. I carry around I've given away like probably 8 New Testaments this year to people, which is a blessing. And he's like, because people come down on me, like people judge me for that. Uh, I was talking to a guy. We were going to see the Downchild Blues Band, and we were with this guy. It was a weird conversation because we're going to go see the Downchild Blues Band, you know. Um, but he was asking me about my harmonica playing. He said, you must really feel that instrument when you play it, And he was just, I was like, yeah, and he's like, so he asked a bit about my history, right? And I said, well, I toured with a band for like 15 and a bit years, the better part of 20 years. I toured with a band. that was trying to make a name for itself in the Canadian music industry and trying to be something. You know, we recorded 7 albums, we played all over the country, we did this and that, and you know, and now it's done. It's a memory, you know, and nothing came of it. I don't have anything to show for it. You know, even the last album, I got my harmonica parts all got mixed off the last album that we did. Um, yeah, it had a hostile ending, that band. But, you know, so when that happened, I just thought, you know, I'm giving up. I'm not playing music. I'm not going to try to impress the music industry anymore with anything, you know. And you know, so I was telling him that, and I said, you know, and so now, you know, I play at church and I play in a little band, a little hillbilly band called the Cornbread Choir, you know, and I've just started playing solo shows again downtown. And he was like, kind of like, got all like, oh, like, what are you talking about? And I said, what's the problem? And he said, well, you know, you just told me that you're not performing for the world anymore, yet you're performing for the world. And I said, no, I said, I'm not trying to be a somebody in the music industry anymore. And I'm trying to play with my friends for people who want to hear the music and enjoy the music, you know. Uh, you know, there's a difference between being a little DIY band that plays up and down Hunter Street and then, you know, signing papers and cutting contracts and all kinds of stuff like that. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, so people get down on me on playing out in public, but my pastor was telling me, he said, you know, it's really great that that's what you do. He's like, that's your ministry, you know, like you can reach people that other people can't reach, you know. A lot like anybody else in my church wouldn't even go to the places I go to. You know what I mean? And so that was encouraging, you know. So yeah, that's a good thing. So it was a project of mine to start playing out more this year. I got that going. I'm in a nice little friendly band that's not really trying to do anything except play up and down the street for our friends. You know, it's nice. And I got to play at church, which is awesome. And speaking of church, I joined a church, um, the Mercy of God Ministries here in Peterborough, and you know, It took me a few years before I wanted to go to a church, you know. And even with the church I go to, I do have some doctrinal differences with, but you know, nothing you do is gonna be perfect. It's nice to be around a body of believers, and you know, people have different opinions on things. A lot of things, a lot of things don't really matter, like straw man arguments in the Christian faith, um, just little doctrinal things, and but ultimately we all believe in the same Bible, we all believe in the same Jesus, we all believe in the same gospel. Hopefully, believe in the Lord Jesus, and you shall be saved. Simple as that. Hey, Pat. How's it going, Mad Dog Dueler? I hope you're doing good, man. I'm just talking about the channel and being boring, really. Um, Talking about stuff that's happened over the last year. Um, I recorded an album. My 5-year stint with Mirkwood Recordings sadly came to an end. Mirkwood Recordings was a small do-it-yourself record label out of Pittsburgh, which was really my friend Kurt, just doing everything. And they put out music for streaming online, and they recorded. I would record albums on my cell phone and send it to Kurt, and he'd mix it and master it, and we'd make a record. And I did an album called At Midnight Call the Doctor and Corey Darling Corey, and those two are compiled on a cassette called Methane Blues, but it's out of stock. You can't get it anymore. Um, and he did a split EP with me and Bone Daddy that I'm very fond of, called Broken Whispers of the Devil, the Lo-Fi Connection, Bone Daddy and Dirty Pat Walsh. Um, he did. We did another cassette. We did a live album of me and my friend Jill Stavely playing. More of our garage rock kind of stuff. Um, and he did another cassette for me of an album called The Morning Brings You Nothing. And it's a very dark album. And it's one that I'm reluctant to share with people at this point because it doesn't speak for my feelings right now. It's an album of songs I wrote years and years ago, and it's a dark album. It's kind of like a concept album, you know. But yeah, I still have copies of it. But anyhow, the latest album I recorded is on a do-it-yourself punk rock label from Peterborough called Cryptid Covenant Records. And James Miranda saw me. He's the guy who does that. And he saw me play at the Red Dog. And he came up to me and he said, "How can I record that?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, I want your show on an album." And so we recorded this album here called The Actor and the Criminal. And this is a painting on the cover by my friend Hillary Thompson. And my beloved friend Hillary Thompson. And James even did like a crusty punk rock band logo for my name, and I thought that was kind of cool. I grew up in the '80s punk rock scene, right? And I think it's cool because that seems to be the audience I attract at my shows. Is I don't get blues people out to my shows very often. I never get my musical peers, like people I've played with in bands, other than the band I'm playing in now. They come out to my shows, but I get the young punk rock crowd, and I really like that, because it's the scene I'm familiar with. I feel at home in it, but I also feel like an old man. It's funny. That last gig we did at the with the Cornbread Choir at the Dreams of Beans Cafe. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about the name, but when I went in, Keegan dropped me off with the gear. I don't know if I told you all of this already, but Keegan dropped me off with the gear, and so I had to sit and wait with the gear while he went and got the rest of the gear and the band, and which is just down the road. And so I was sitting there in this easy chair by the stage, and the server comes up and he says, "Excuse me, sir. We have a band coming in at 6. Maybe I can get you to move to the back table here." And I said, "Well, I'm in the band." And he said, "Oh, you're here to see the band. Well, great. Maybe we can get you to move to the back table, And I said, "No, man. I'm in the band. I'm playing here tonight, And he was just kind of like, "Oh, And I think it's because maybe I'm older now, I don't know. I look kind of weird. I dress like a used car salesman and don't wash my hair very often. I don't know. It was weird. But so anyway, I went and I ordered a soda from him and sat back down in the chair. And then Then this other fella comes up, and he's the owner of the place, and he says, "Hello, my name's so and so, and I'm the owner of this establishment, and we have a band coming in at 6, and I'm wondering if we can get you to move back to the back table here." And I said, "I'm in the band." And it was the same thing. He's, "Oh, you're with the band. Oh, yeah, well, great. You know, you want to see the band? There's a great table back." And I said, "No, I'm sitting here, man. I'm staying here. I am in the band." It was like, it was weird, you know? Um, the crowds, the people are, I remember being like in the 90s, I was in my 20s, and it seemed like everything was just geared towards people in their 20s and butting into their 30s, and now I'm past that. I'm just old and weird, I guess. But that's cool. I like it like that. Um, uh, what else is going on here on the channel? It's been a year of great loss. I lost my mother a little over 2 months ago, um, and that was we've been waiting on that for a year, kind of thing. But it was very very strange. I'm not going to talk about it at all, but it was very it remains a very strange experience. But I'm at peace with it. It's all good. I had a friend of mine die last week. Like it's been a year. It's been a year of people dying, and of course, my mother to me is the most important of all. Also, my beloved friend Aunt Rhonda, my friend Justin's aunt, um, died from the same thing my mother did, pancreatic cancer. So very sad, but hopefully they're in a better place. I know Rhonda is, and I'd like to think my mother is too. So, um, yeah, what else has been going on? I got some really nice gifts this year from people. One of I've been very blessed on this channel with things that people have sent me and things like that. I've received a lot of nice harmonicas from people, and Darren built me that really cool case I got the other week. Um, Jim sent me this here Archaea F sharp harmonica. Um, it's a great harmonica, and I like the that it's in F sharp because it's unique, but it's really high. I wish I'd asked for a B instead. I need a new B harmonica. Um, I was just I think I have the means to buy one. I can buy a new B harmonica. I tune my I've been tuning my guitars. I've been experimenting with tuning my guitars. I've been playing in open D a lot more on my old this whole thing. This is a guitar I bought this the year I moved to Peterborough. Um, and it's been a good guitar. Well, I got stones in the pathway, and my road seems dark at night. That's the only lyric I can remember from that song. Yeah, open D. It's a cool tuning. I don't play in it much, but a lot of songs that I would like to play more are in that tuning. So, um, but when I tune this guitar here, this is my open G guitar. Like, this is the tuning I'm familiar with, you know. But I noticed that when I tune it by ear, I tune it almost perfectly a half step lower. So it's actually not open G at all. It's open F sharp. Um, so if I was to use my harmonica rack uh, to play along with the harmonica, I would, if I was an open G, I'd use a C harmonica. But if I'm a half step down, I'd use a B harmonica. Because that's how you play cross harp, and that's what you use a B harmonica for, F sharp. um, so, and I've had a real bad string of B harmonicas that I've bought. The last two marine bands in the key of B that I bought, because when I played with Glenn Pierce a couple of years ago, I used to play in straight position a lot with him, and he liked to play in the key of B a lot. So kept buying the B harmonicas. There was always something wrong with it. I think it was just a bad batch of B marine bands, because they're and I can fix my harmonicas a bit, but I'm not that great. I'm not a customizer, I can tune a reed, and I can gap a reed, but that's about it. Do a little sanding and stuff, um, but I have this old B harmonica from the Silverhearts days. And it's pretty good. Like, the notes all fire off, but it just sounds old. Like, it sounds old and flat. So I think John Beckley Morris said something about you can clean harmonicas by putting them in a, like, 2/3 water, 1/3 hydrogen peroxide solution, and that'll revitalize everything. So I might try that with it. But other than that, I have this East Top $10 B harmonica, and it just doesn't cut the mustard. I can play it. While I'm doing this thing. I gotta go. There's somebody at my door. We're expecting electrical people or something. But anyhow, thanks for watching my channel, folks. Thanks for subscribing. It's been a great year for subscribers, and I'm really blessed to have you all here. And we're gonna continue to sing the blues and play harmonica and preach the gospel and all that good stuff. And I can't thank you all enough for being part of my channel. So thanks for seven good years, and hopefully 7 more to come. Who knows? Who knows? Bye now.